All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tres Hombres. I am your host, Tayten, and I am once again joined by my co-host, Mason,
Hello.
and Ethan.
Hello.
And, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird how I have to say the intro even though I'm the only person here who is not taking Spanish, so I have no idea how to pronounce Spanish words.
Hola.
Yeah.
Hola.
These two kids are in Spanish 4. I am in Spanish 0. I'm in Japanese 2.
Wow.
You should open it with Japanese.
Konnichiwa. I don't know how to say welcome back. Okay. Well, anyways, for today's episode, we will be talking about Lethal Company once again because recently they have released the new beta. They've released a beta for the new upcoming version of Lethal Company, version 50, and over the past around like 1-2 weeks, about the past week, we have been kind of playing around with this new version a bit, exploring all the new content. So today we want to kind of share what's being added to the game and our experiences with it. So first off, there are 3 new moons. They are called, spoiler alert, but anyways, they're called Adamance, Embryon, and Artifice, whatever. So Nason, first moon.
Yep.
Adamance. What do you think about it?
Which one is that one?
That is the one where you land. There's a giant crater, and then on the other side there is the mansion building thing.
Is it the 200 loot one?
It is it's the baboon hawk one.
Oh, okay, that one. So it's the one with the bridge and the sloped curves and the little shed.
Yep, the cottage.
Yeah. So first, I think the map is okay. I actually kind of like the map design. You go down, and it's like you're supposed to go over the bridge and then just come back with the loop, doing a loop-de-loop, right? But this map is a little hard. So from my experience, I absolutely hate baboon hawks. I literally died to just one of them before because I have my mic off, and he stole one piece of my loot, and I was just trying to chase him, but then he attacked me and I died.
Yeah, up to, I think, 15 or 20 baboon hawks can spawn on that planet.
No.
And they're really common. They have a 60% chance of spawning. So you'll just often see groups of 4 or 5, like, consistently every time you play on that map.
I think it's really bad that baboon hawks can take loot because once they start to attack you, you have to drop your stuff because they're much faster than you are with loot. And then once you drop it, then they can just pick it up and then never give it back.
I think that adds to the challenge part of it and makes the game more fun to play.
Oh, got opposing viewpoints.
Wow.
Interesting. This is also the first planet where we found the first new enemy, the robot called the Old Bird. So this is by far definitely the quote greatest
It's the apex
and the
predator.
best new enemy in the game. So I think Ethan had a lovely experience with them. You want to kind of talk about these old birds?
Okay, so what was that planet we wanted? The secret planet?
Oh, yeah. The first one, this will bring us to the next planet, Embryon, which is a giant purple amethyst planet. And on the outside, there's just a bunch of these old birds. They're always spawn at least like 10 or 20.
Yeah, and contrary to the name, they are not in any shape or form a bird. They're giant robots that are death-killing machines that shoot out missiles. And on the secret planet that we landed on, there were like 20 of them just outside. And there were like 5 of them already active after just 5 minutes into playing on the moon. And we kept getting destroyed by them.
To be fair, that's because it was eclipsed, so they can activate it at any time. But yeah, basically, they walk around with their spotlight, and if they see you, they'll just start like screaming. They're called old birds, but their sound effect is a crying baby. Like I'm not even kidding. It's a crying. I'm like 99.9% sure the sound effect is just a crying baby over like some sirens. But if they see you, they will shoot missiles at you. They can fly horizontally, like with jetpack boosters on their feet or something. So you can't really outrun them. If they get too close to you, they'll just grab you and then insta-kill you like a forest giant. And they can also fly vertically to reposition themselves anytime they're trying to patrol. So yeah, no, I do not. I do not like the robots. I think they definitely need some kind of balance change.
I love the robots. They're very goofy when they're all activated and they're just spamming
Yeah.
missiles at you. It's like
Yeah.
World War III on
Yeah,
a
but then
planet.
but it makes like going. It just makes like bringing any loot back to the ship just kind of I feel like ridiculously difficult because there's no way to really avoid them. They can turn around like at any moment. It's
Yeah.
not like they have a set path. They just like walk in one direction and they could just immediately do like a 180 without any kind of warning and then
Yeah.
immediately spot you. They can also their line of sight also seems to be really inconsistent. There have been times where like I'm right in front of them and they don't see me, but there's also times when I'm like 300 meters away and then they start blasting sirens and start shooting at me and start flying towards me. I'm like, dude, how did you see me? So I feel like they gotta fix their line of sight. But aside from that, there's also the missiles. Like they just shoot a barrage of missiles, and they either if they hit you, they do a lot of damage. And if they don't hit you, they still knock you back.
Very fun.
Yeah, very very
I
fun.
think the knockback was pretty insane. Like you got flung out of the map.
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think you came out of the room and then you just got barraged with missiles.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
I did.
Flew out of the world.
Oh no, that was I just lagged in that one. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Because there was, when I entered the facility, there was a slime camping
yeah.
the door, and then
You got
I got
insta-killed.
killed, and then it flung me out the map.
Oh,
Oh no, wasn't that when I teleported you back to the ship? You
Uh,
guys said he fell through the floor.
yeah, you
I think that was the difference.
No, that was the
same
same
one.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
when you teleported me back, and I fell through the floor.
Ah,
All right. This brings us to our third planet, Artifice, which is like just. I mean, it's. I don't know what to say. There's warehouses, like abandoned warehouses, that robots can spawn, and
I like how close the entrance. Well, I think it's closer than most.
it's closer than most. But the drawback is there's lots of robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to close the warehouse doors, so that the robots, if they're activated, won't chase you.
Yeah, they just fly through the
The
roof.
map on that planet is huge. I walked.
Yeah,
like,
he walked
away.
outside of the fence, and because that's the only planet without like mountains to kind of keep you inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really much of a point in walking out because there's just nothing.
Yeah,
there.
but like I feel like the robots should spread out to there eventually, shouldn't they?
outside the map.
Yeah.
Why would they be outside the map?
I don't know. The map is huge, right? So can't they just jetpack themselves out there?
I mean, they could, but no one. They don't really expect players to go there, so they wouldn't really. That would just make it too easy if all the mobs just ended up being outside the map.
There was a little gate thing that you could take on the side of the planet in the fence. There was a hole in the fence, so I think you can take that out back to the ship and avoid all the robots.
Yeah, I think that was probably the intention, but yeah, it's okay.
There's also the apparatus.
Oh
which,
yeah, they finally gave the apparatus a consequence of taking.
There
it,
was
aside from-
already
Yeah.
well,
It's
aside
already
from
conse-
turning off the lights.
No, I'm pretty sure in the wiki it said it'll make monsters spawn really fast.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's fact check that. But Ethan, you want to explain the brand new function? Oh,
Right,
This
yeah.
happened on the purple planet with a bunch of robots. Ethan took the apparatus.
Yeah, so I didn't know at the time. They didn't tell me anything. So I was like, I'll take the apparatus, guys, because like I don't think we made that much money. So I took it, and then next thing I know, I like hear both of them kind of like screaming. It was like, what's going on? And then I leave the facility, and all like 20 robots of them are just like flying around and shooting missiles. So
Yeah. Okay, so now taking the apparatus will instantly activate every single old bird on the planet. So if there's a mech, no matter what time it is, taking out the apparatus will activate them, and they will start doing their patrols. So when Ethan took out that apparatus, all 20 of the robots turned on simultaneously, and
Yay.
Mason
was
and
fun.
I got lit up like the 4th of July. So
Oh, I took it like halfway back.
yeah, and then he got exploded. And then Mason kept going, dude, I got it halfway. You just gotta run
Yeah.
outside and grab the
You just have to run
apparatus.
out. It's already halfway through.
And I look at the door, and there's just like 15 robots surrounding his corpse, and I'm like, heck no.
Just grab it.
No, just grab it.
That's
Proceeds to
easy,
get
like
shot.
100.
80. The apparatus is worth like $80.
Easy 80 the bucks.
Oh yeah, wait. Okay. Once the apparatus is disconnected, there is a 70% chance that the minimum amount of enemies spawned will be set to 2. for the next. Oh, so basically, every time an enemy can spawn, it will spawn at least. It's guaranteed to spawn at least 2 enemies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like. Okay, well, I'm not going to read up about spawn cycles because I don't want to have to do research during a podcast. But it looks like every few minutes there is like a certain chance an enemy can spawn. So the range can be like from 0 to, I guess, 0 to something. But basically, taking out the apparatus will just set the minimum. There's a chance to set the minimum spawn every time this little chance can occur to 2. So yeah, I guess taking out the apparatus is not a very good idea.
No, that's why I'm like, take it out only at the end, because if you take it out from the start, then it'll just be monster filled, and then.
Yeah, but it's also kind of funny when Mason starts
No,
screaming.
Yes,
we
they
just get like
should.
3 thumpers, and then we're like, oh
Bro,
crap.
I remember one round I took out the apparatus and then I could hear Mason on mic like, bro, who the heck took out the apparatus? And I'm just walking back to the shit with the apparatus. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks for Mason. But yeah, it gives a fun little boost to the challenge, and I
Yes.
think that's fun.
Do you think the apparatus is worth it anymore?
I think it's still just grab it at the end, and then
We just have Ethan grab it at
Yeah.
the end, obviously, because he thinks it's worth
Mm.
it.
it is worth it.
I think it's not worth it anymore.
I think honestly, I think it's only not worth it on the purple planet because that's the only planet with like more than 3 robots at any given time. And you know, usually if you're pulling it out last, it's already late, so robots are probably already active. So I think it's pretty worth it.
Yeah, just have people camp at the ship and just have one guy bring it. So
One guy, aka Ethan.
yeah, I'll gladly do it for the fun.
He's the breadwinner
Very
of our
fun.
lethal group.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that brings us to not a new planet. This is an old one called Rend, and I'm pretty sure nobody goes to because there used to be 3 planets you have to pay for. There was Dine, which costs like 500. There's Rend, which costs like 600, and then there's Tayten, which costs 700. So Dine is usually people's first, like if you're playing the game for the first time, it'll probably be your new first planet. And it's like a pretty simple, I mean, you can't see anything because of the snow, but you just follow the lights and you're brought to the facility. Rend is a little bit different. You spawn and there's no lights. You just have to kind of wander around until you first discover which way you're supposed to go. And you can't tell where you're going because it's so dark and there's so much snow. And so, yeah. So I think, and then there's Titan, which is literally just walk straight, go up the stairs, and you're there. So I don't think anyone goes to Rend. So I think this update, the creator was like, yeah, okay, let's try to get people back here. So they've kind of updated the map. And when I say updated, I don't think they updated anything except for they made the second new monster spawn very frequently on this map. And it is the Butler.
Wow.
I thought it was on Dine that the Butler spawns really fast.
Was Ren the first one or was Dine the first?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Second, whatever. All you need to know is that it's the second. It's one of the snow planets. I'm pretty sure this is gum.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we went to Ren, there were a lot of spawns for the Butler, so
Yeah. There were there were 3 butlers and a turret.
Oh, yeah. No, bro. Bro, I tried to go into, I was about
Oh,
to
yeah.
enter the main
Oh,
entrance,
yeah.
and then nobody told me that the turret was already shooting at the main entrance. Or it
So
was
yeah,
on.
Mason got. I was the first to enter. There was a turret facing right at me. It got activated, and so as I was leaving, right before I spawned outside, Ethan and Mason both spawned inside the building. So the turret kept its aggro and it just started instantly shooting at them.
Yeah.
Because
got
I have push
insta-killed.
talk on, so even though I was yelling in my room like, "Oh shoot, turret!" Obviously, they didn't hear it because I wasn't pressing my microphone button. So
Oh.
yeah, maybe I should turn that on. I don't want you to hear my constant yelling, I guess. But maybe it would have saved their lives. But anyways, Mason, you want to explain what the new butler does?
I don't know how he works. I thought it was just if you're alone, then he starts to chase you with the knife.
Yeah, if you're alone, after a few seconds he will become aggroed and he'll put away his broom and pull out a knife from his suit and he will start chasing you.
He's
With music in the
fast.
background.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
fast.
He's really fast.
Yeah, Mason got stabbed I think he only survived because he was already so close to the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happened on Adamants, by the way. They only have like a 6% chance of spawning there. So good job, Mason.
Yeah.
Truly a lucky fellow.
Yeah, you also hear music when it pulls out his knife and it's chasing you.
Yeah. So on Rend, or I don't know, the second snow planet, whatever it's called, they have I think a 60% chance of spawning, and I think up to 3 or 5 of them can spawn. So during the round, Mason got instantly lit up by a turret. I think there were 3 butlers that round because I
Yeah.
remember Ethan and I were kind of hiding in the main entrance, and there was just a bunch of them sweeping on the staircase. And then yeah, they're an interesting enemy. I mean, I think it does actually. I think this is actually a pretty good mechanic. It kind of, because usually players will always split up, right, to find as much loot as possible, cover as much ground as they can. But with the addition of the butler, it kind of encourages you to also stay together. So it's like, you guys want to risk it, just go buy your own for maximum money, or play it a bit more safe and stick together at the expense of, not being able to cover as much ground as possible. So I think it's a good way to shake up the core gameplay loop right now.
I feel like they could have just put baboon hawks in the actual map, because they do almost essentially the same thing. If you're outnumbered, then they start to attack
Well,
you.
that's the job of the hoarding bugs.
Hoarding bugs do that too?
No, but they steal stuff. So
What?
they take stuff. And then
I'm talking about like the attack mechanic for the baboon hawks. If
I
they
mean, honestly,
outnumber
it's
you.
so inconsistent because even though there was 4 of them, none of them are attacking me.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I think they're kind of inconsistent, but I think it's just like, just avoid them and you'll be fine. I think Mason just has
The
a skill issue.
Butler, you can't avoid the butler.
You can't.
No.
I mean, you can kill them, but then that brings us to the 3rd new enemy.
Mask hornets.
Yeah.
What is that one? Is that...
Yeah. Okay. So we didn't see that one because we didn't kill a butler. Well, I mean, we
We
saw.
did.
I know the Nutcracker killed 2 of them, but you guys were already
think it
dead.
killed all
Oh,
3.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. And
You
they're
guys
like these weird bugs flying around.
So basically, they are circuit bees, but they don't stand in one place. They will search the facility for players, and they last forever. You cannot kill them. So killing a butler basically spawns in infinite circuit bees.
Can you stun circuit bees?
No,
Oh man.
I don't think so. So yeah, killing them is not recommended unless you're like planning on leaving, because I mean, circuit bees, they do a decent amount of damage, and you can outrun them, but you can't outwalk them. So yeah, killing the
But you get a knife. for
yeah,
that,
you get
though.
how much is the knife even worth?
I'm pretty sure.
Like 50.
Isn't it a good weapon though? I don't know.
I
Can we
thought
even
I thought
use
it
a
does
knife?
like little baby damage, because the butler only does little baby damage. He has to stab you like 8 times for you to die, I think.
Really?
I don't know. I remember getting stabbed at least like 3 times.
Okay, well that's a very far number from A.
Well, I wasn't that close to dying, I think.
Well, we can do some research about
Okay.
that another time. But yeah, so that is basically all the new content. We have 3 new moons: Adamants, Embryon, and Artifice. We have 3 new enemies: Old Bird robots, Butlers, and Masked Hornets, and a revamped second snow planet, which just has a bunch of Butlers. I don't know if I should really call it revamped. It's just a bunch of them. Oh yeah, before we move on to the next segment, I want to say one neat thing about the old birds is that they can kill anything. So if there's an old bird on the planet, they are like your only concern because they make noise, so they will attract the blind dogs to them. And also, I think forest giants get aggroed by them too, maybe. So they will kill blind dogs. They will kill forest giants. I didn't even know forest giants could die, but
Nice.
yeah, they can die. We saw Mason and I watched an old bird kill one, and it was just laying by the ship.
Wow.
I think the best thing to have on a planet is the worm and an old bird, right? Because then the worm could just kill the old bird, and the old bird would kill everything else.
No, you have to trick the worm into killing the old bird.
Yeah.
But you never really know where the worm is.
Yeah.
Just have someone on the monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh my God, we almost forgot one thing. Spike traps.
Oh,
dude, those-
In my
hard.
addition, the worst addition in my opinion, it is the worst addition to the game in this update. They suck. They can spawn anywhere, even in the middle of a room. They can spawn facing any direction. They can spawn right on top of the fire exit. So if you walk into the fire exit, you just get insta killed. And Yeah, I think Ethan was walking on a bridge one time, and then all of a sudden, a spike just comes right in front of his face.
Yeah.
'Cause it was facing diagonally on the bridge.
It
Like,
was a little spooky.
yeah, like they have to nerf them. I think, in my opinion, like keep them on like a set time schedule where like they're always going like maybe every 5 seconds, or maybe like create like a time where like the turret, you know how it like kind of beeps that it whirs up before it starts shooting at you. Like have like that, maybe like a little 1 to 2 second beep where you can hear like, oh shoot, I'm about to be like crushed, so you can move out the way. Because right now, if you make one misstep, you just walk through a door, instant death. Like I think it's pretty unbalanced, and it can spawn everywhere, and they spawn pretty often. So I think they do need to rework that. But what do you guys think?
Do you think? Wait, can you even see snare fleas
Not
if
really.
if there's a spike trap right on top of them?
I don't think they can spawn under like, on
Oh.
spike traps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
monsters. We haven't tried to see if a monster can die from a spike trap yet, have we?
No, we
No.
have not.
I mean, that could be a use for the spike traps, but overall, I have to agree that they are pretty bad. I died like
Yeah, Mason.
so many times.
I think Mason's. I don't know, Ethan. Have you died to a
No,
spike
I
trap?
haven't died. To a
I think
spike trap.
Mason is. Yeah, right now we've complained about it, but Mason so far is the only one to have died from a spike
I
trap.
keep
Yeah.
dying from them.
He's died like 5 times.
I don't know. I think I'm just really lucky because I
Yeah.
walked under like a few spike traps already, but they haven't activated. So.
Oh yeah, right now their activation is really inconsistent, so it's also just hard to try and bait them in general.
Isn't it like they each have their own timer? Because I feel like I've seen some of them going faster than others.
That would make this even worse, and that would also strengthen my argument that they need to have all like a set, actual like constant timer.
Well, I think the inconsistency is what makes it like more challenging.
Okay.
So.
But either way, at least make some kind of warning period so you can move out the way, like a turret. Like landmines, they're bright red flashing and they have the beeps.
Yeah.
Turrets have bright orange light and they will charge up before shooting at you. Spike traps have no warning period. You're dead. So
Yeah.
they do think they need to be balanced, but yeah. So that brings us to the end of our little review. Overall, what do you guys think of version 50?
I think it's really good. I like it. There's a lot more new planets, and you can see the creators are trying to make sure the players are always staying in the game and stuff.
Creator singular.
Creator, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that one embryon planet with only 200 loot, I think the update is pretty good. The old birds definitely need a warning when they turn. But other than that, they just rampage for a little bit after you get out of their line of sight and they don't know where you are. And then
Although sometimes it seems like they always know where you are. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like Mason was already like, I know there was one round where Mason was like pretty far away,
yeah.
and then the old boy just starts flying horizontally after him,
Yeah.
and I just watch it and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. So line of sight too then.
They need to like kind of fix that. You make it more consistent.
Then the spike traps, we said warning period too.
Yeah, like a 1 to 2 second warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the butlers. There was no issue with them besides maybe the bees can be killed too.
Yeah, I think they're probably, in my opinion, the best part of the update because they kind of switch up the gameplay loop a bit. But yeah, overall, I think just robot and spike trap kind of balance changes, and yeah, I think that's pretty it. And now keep in mind this is a beta version. We are still probably weeks out from the official version 50 coming out, so things are subject to change, and the creator can always just update the game later.
Watch it just be like one old bird instead of 20.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Embryon in game is literally said it has been like blacklisted from the terminals because of all the robots there. So, yeah. But anyways, before I close, Ethan, you'll be happy to learn, I think, that the creator of Lethal Company is a furry.
Whoa. Wow, a furry is richer than all of us, guys.
Yep.
Just make a multiplayer horror game.
For furries.
Easy money.
Multiplayer horror furry game.
Yeah,
It's an
Mason
idea
could
for
do that.
next time.
Yeah, it's an idea for Mason.
No.
But with that is all the time we have for today. So thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble on about Lethal Company again. And hopefully you guys will tune in next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.